I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game. And
the WNBA is watched by many for me. Angel Reese said she's feeling the heat as she responds to the incessant comparisons to Caitlin Clark. Met David has disclosed the hard data, showing that Rhee only draws 10,000 spectators per game compared to Clark's astounding 15,000, a notable 50% disparity that clearly irritates Angel with the unfolding plot. But there's more to this story. This isn't about race, it's about influence. Caitlin Clark's unquestionable influence has raised the WNBA's profile, and whether she acknowledges it or not, Angel Reese is profiting from that upsurge. She has also secured a significant Nike deal, further solidifying her star power. Some have compared her meteoric rise to Tiger Woods, a once-in-a-generation talent who transcended his sport.
You don't think she has, literally put life into WNBA? Yeah, we're talking about it right now, but I don't think she's going anywhere. And I think she is going to literally turn this thing around, not because of the stupid controversial bump, but bro, people are they're selling out to watch this girl play.
But people love celebrity, and they love to watch achievement, and they love to see these new personalities.
After all, Rhee might wind up praising Clark for raising the league's profile like never before. Let's hear what Value Entertainment podcast host Patrick Bet David had to say.
WNBA viewership, okay? Game, 7,300 in attendance, okay? The average Angel Reese game is 10,100, 10,200 they come to watch her. You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300,
wow.
Okay? 15,300.
While the average WNBA game draws roughly 7,300 spectators, the data clearly show what's actually happening in WNBA arenas across the nation. However, there is a noticeable difference when these two celebrities play Angel. Consider it like a popularity contest where one contestant is drawing good crowds, but the other is raising fire code concerns because so many people want to get in. Reese brings in 10,200 fans on average, a solid 3,000 increase that would make any player proud. But Caitlin Clark is packing arenas with 15,300 fans, an incredible 109% jump from regular attendance and 5,000 more than Reese attracts.
There, look at this. Caitlin Clark gets 15,591 fans in attendance, 105% increase compared to the average game is 76.45, and to Angel Reese, it's only 10,000.
These attendance numbers are more than simply intriguing data. They accurately reflect what transpires on the court when these two elites compete against one another, and the outcome reflected their ability to draw. In their clash, Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever defeated Angel Reese's squad. The player who fills the most seats also won where it counts most on the scoreboard.
Tom, thoughts on this story with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese?
I think there's some people, first of all, I think it's jealousy. I don't want to get in, there's a lot of articles out there that are using the R word and talking about this. I think it is pure, unadulterated jealousy. And the last clip from Angel Reese, they're watching me too. They're watching me too. It's like she's begging us to believe in her validation. Whereas the numbers, words talk, Angel, numbers scream, and the numbers are screaming that the fans are coming for her.
The co-host Patrick Bet David gave a frank analysis of the situation, getting right to the point when he said, "I think there are some people, first of all, I think it's jealousy." He didn't even complete that phrase. Everyone listening could see the conclusion.
It's the Nike contract with Caitlin Clark. Nike contract, $28 million is what the contract.
Is that correct? Big brands have also taken notice of this surge in popularity. Nike acknowledged Clark's extraordinary star power and gave him a $28 million contract, which is far more than most WNBA players have ever seen. The market has made its decision very apparent. Caitlin Clark is making a difference in ways that no other female basketball player has.
This is WNBA is paying Caitlin Clark $28 million. Good for freaking you. By the way, that day when they played against each other, Caitlin Clark's team won the Fever.
The market has made it clear that no player in WNBA history has had such an immediate impact on attendance and viewer engagement. The statistics demonstrate that she is not just a celebrity, but a once-in-a-generation phenomenon who is completely altering the women's basketball landscape. For example, can you imagine if you were Angel Reese, a fantastic player who boosts attendance by almost 3,000 fans, and then Clark comes along and nearly doubles that impact? It's understandable that there might be some tension, but rather than embracing this positive trend that could lift everyone's spirits, some players seem determined to oppose Clark's success.
But I want to point something else out. When Tiger Woods came up, I think the day he turned pro, Rob, I think it was a $40 million Nike contract the day Tiger turned pro. And in the years that followed, the purses in basketball, there it is, 5-year, $40 million deal as a young phenom. Nike knows how to do this. And Tiger drove the total purses in PGA up. Why? Because he brought eyeballs to TV.
Caitlin Clark's current situation is essentially the same as what transpired in 1997, when a single athlete abruptly transformed golf's financial scene, and Patrick B. David recently made a historic analogy that fundamentally alters how players like Angel Reese should perceive Clark's accomplishments.
Let's focus on Masters, okay? Look what numbers you see, 9.5, 5.6 million. No one's really watching it, right? 10.8, 13 million. Okay, now go all the way down. Tom, we got it, Tom. Glad you're directing here. Go to the first year where he comes in.
2001.
1997. Bingo.
Oh!
20.3 million. It goes up from 12.4 to 20.3 million.
Did you know that prior to Tiger Woods' ascent to the professional golf scene, viewership was completely stagnant? Patrick David noted that prior to Tiger's arrival, only 12.4 million people were watching the Masters tournament. However, when Woods took the course, wearing his recognizable red shirt, viewership skyrocketed to 20.3 million, a whopping 63% increase. Leap Tiger's thrilling play, captivating demeanor, and groundbreaking accomplishments turned golf from a specialist sport into a national phenomenon.
What's the point here? One person can change the game, and Tiger...
Is that when Tiger came in?
That's when Tiger came in.
Well, he brought a whole new audience.
He brought a whole new audience.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Caitlin Clark is.
The Tiger effect brought about a financial boom for all golfers. Those huge viewership figures directly translated into larger television deals and much larger tournament payouts. Even golfers who had never won tournaments suddenly made a lot more money than they had before Tiger arrived. The rising tide of Tiger's fame lifted everyone in the golf industry.
What happened to the total purse? And the total purse is the money that goes to the players. It went up. And suddenly, guys finishing in the top 10 of a golf tournament were making as much as they were 5 years prior to win a tournament.
Patrick David observes that the same pattern is playing out with Caitlin Clark in women's basketball. According to David, the WNBA has been losing about $50 million a year for years, which is a financial reality that explains why player salaries have remained low when compared to their male counterparts. However, Clark is the only one altering that equation.
To see, I think history is repeating itself, and Caitlin Clark could be raising the tide and lifting all boats. And I think Angel Reese needs to take a pill because there is a great opportunity here, and I think jealousy is reigning supreme here.
Her remarkable influence on attendance, viewership, and merchandise sales is opening the door to a fully resurgent league with better finances for all. This shift in the economy explains why David highlighted Angel. Reese's strategy is flawed. Rather than seeing Clark as a rival snatching her attention, Ree needs to understand that Clark's fame opens the door for all WNBA players to sign larger contracts.
So how many people did he make rich? By the way, if you ask me, pre-1997, how many golfers I knew? The only reason I knew Lee Trevino is because he was the most expensive golf cart. It's the only reason. I've never watched Lee Trevino play.
Yeah.
I had his golf cart, and everybody would brag about it. And he had I'm telling you.
Lee Trevino.
And then he joins. He gets into it. You're like, what is this all about? You had Middle Easterns on the freaking golf course. They don't belong on a golf course.
But they were hanging on the sand.
Yeah.
They were in the sand.
They were spending time on the sand, having like some real nice.
This gem is made evident by the Tiger Woods comparison. Phil Mickelson with other celebrity assets, not a zero-sum game, where Clark's success means less money for Ree. Rather, Clark isn't taking money from Ree. Rather, she's potentially saving a league that has been struggling financially for decades by creating a financially viable WNBA with far greater earning potential for all its players. Ernie Els and Vijay Singh didn't complain about Tiger's attention because they appreciated playing for much larger purses. Specifically, because Tiger Woods existed and attracted so many new fans to the sport, those golfers earned millions more every weekend throughout their careers.
They had more people go to a Los Angeles Sparks game this year than the Lakers. There was more people attending a Sparks game this year than Lakers instead. Did you hear about this? But when you get people butts and seats, pay for people changes, cash flow changes. So you're right.
In addition to the financial effects of Caitlin Clark's fame, there is a contentious debate that could eclipse women's basketball.
Said the R word, Tom. I don't know why you were blocking it. Racism. Everybody's talking about, like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, which we'll get into, Pat, after we go. He's just going on these panels and going, you know what? First he's bashing Trump, and then he goes into Caitlin Clark, and she's everything about her is white, and he's going on these anti-white race things about her and how black personalities would be more successful if they were white. It's unattractive. It's making this victimhood mentality.
In his precise words, everything about her is white. Stephen A. Smith sparked a controversy that is dividing the entire sports world when he implied that Clark's success was actually due to her skin tone. Let it sink in. One of ESPN's most prominent voices basically asserted that Clark's success is due to her race rather than her remarkable scoring prowess or jaw-dropping range.
In a way that has benefited the league in ways that others have not, even though their efforts have been worthy and deserving of being as celebrated, if not even more celebrated. And it's a reminder that no matter how far we believe that we have advanced as a society, there's still such a long way to go, because in the end,
Look, this guy's embarrassing, bro.
You're bright, you're right, and as a result, the shine comes your way in the eyes of a lot.
Instead of applauding the amazing talent that is attracting millions of new fans to the WNBA, these divisive voices turn accomplishments into racial talking points, acting as a fractured foundation beneath women's basketball as it reaches new heights. Patrick Bet David took aim at these remarks, calling them race-baiting language that is stoking a flame at the very worst time for the expansion of sports.
But it's race baiting rhetoric that's adding fuel to a fire. It's like enough with the racist BS. She's nasty. She knows how to ball. Everybody else is jealous. They're pissed off because she's getting this. It's ridiculous. And we're never going to advance as a species. And we're never, if he keeps having that type of attitude, it's ridiculous. It's like, what? Everything has to go back to race. Everything has to keep going back to race. She's really good. Let it be that. And the other players should shut the hell up.
Bill Maher's confrontation with Charlemagne the God during their heated argument, in which Charlemagne expressed the belief that black athletes don't receive the same credit despite having comparable talent, dramatically upended the racial paradigm. Take a listen.
No, because Angel Reese was the biggest thing when she came out of South Carolina. That's where I'm from. So she was one of the biggest things when she came out of South Carolina, number one draft pick. And she didn't get all of that. So what do you attribute that to?
I mean, you're saying that's racism.
No, I'm not saying it's racist. I'm just saying that I think Angel Wilson has a point. And I think sometimes when, black women say certain things, we should listen, and especially her, because I'm not in her shoes.
Maher offered a question that astounded him. Why was Serena Williams such a household name? This flawless response revealed the fallacious reasoning.
Why was Serena Williams such a big star? Because people like that. They didn't not watch her because she was black, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
are we with this?
I don't know. I'm just sitting back observing the conversation.
That's not what
you're in the conversation.
That's right.
I'm not a woman. I'm not.
How could Serena Williams rise to become one of the most well-known and lucrative athletes in tennis, a sport traditionally dominated by white women, if skin color really did determine athletic stardom? The way well-known black celebrities have reacted to Clark's achievement is perhaps more telling. Serena Williams has openly backed Clark, expressing support rather than animosity.
Serena told Caitlin Clark, I freaking love this, that there's no race involved. And Serena is black, okay? So here's what Serena Williams said to Caitlin Clark. No matter what other people do, if people are negative, then it's because they can't do what you do.
Bingo.
Good for you to say something like that, right? Hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing.
Serena's words to her, according to Serena, Caitlin Clark hears what Serena Williams said to Caitlin Clark. No matter what other people do, if they're negative, it's because they can't do what you do. I absolutely love that there is no race involved and Serena is black. I hope she will keep doing what she's doing.